Hello, this is Akuchi back with some more Dominion. We'll be playing another league match in this season up against Personman. This is my second match in the B1 division. Yeah, Personman's first match, it looks like. Away we go. Uh-oh. Already started. Hopefully that's not, doesn't cause any issues. What do we have here? Bureaucracy. The draw seems pretty weak here. What's a druid doing? Okay, we might want to do druid wisp stuff. So we could open... Well, we're definitely going to want to open with Masquerade, I think. Then what? We have Candlestick Maker and Ducat. Not sure what we should do here. Double mask from our opponent. I was thinking about City Gate. Thinking here is that we're guaranteed that we're going to get to play our mask, and it will trigger a shuffle. I get the motivation behind double mask. But I think I want to save some terminal space for druid. Let me try this. Now this is kind of interesting. I don't mind having 2 copper this turn. But I need a state next turn to pass. So that's what I'm going to top deck. Unless I see mask, then I'm really happy. And now we get to buy a village. Our opponent gets a rustic village, which pisses me off. I'm not going to speed up the bureaucracy. Oh, wait, oops. Alright. Oh, well, that could have been Artisan, which actually seems pretty darn good. But I think I want a village first. Now, Harbor Village, does that do anything? I guess, like, it should be Rustic Village, in that Harbor Village is not going to accomplish much. On the other hand, I really don't want to speed up bureaucracy for selfish reasons. This will trigger a shuffle, which is pretty nice. And I've got the deck that's going to be like gaining wisps, which is going to be good in the face of bureaucracy. But I want to get the wisps before bureaucracy kicks in. I don't know, I have a tough time saying wisps. It's like the S, PS. It's tricky. Opponent gets City Gate. So we could top deck the copper, but again, I think it's good to have an estate in hand for our Masquerade, you know? And we get another wisp here, or excuse me, druid. We'll play with 2 druids. It seems like probably the optimal number for this wisp game plan. Oh, this is not ideal. We might see our village here. There's a 50% chance. And it's not the end of the world if we don't. Artisan might be worth it at some point, but I'm not optimistic about hitting 6. We did have that opportunity before, though, so maybe it'll happen. Alright, so our opponent does get a druid. So they're kind of following. Hopefully we win the wisp split. Our opponent's trash an extra copper and estate compared to us, but we're going to follow that up with the estate here, so they're a little bit more trashed. I do expect to play with some peddlers, which will make the harbor village kind of pay off. I'm just trying to justify not getting rustic village, you know? I don't love the discarding from it anyway. Unlucky. Then again, it doesn't really matter. Our opponent gets to play Wisp before us, which is unfair, but life is unfair. Dominion is just one more example of that. I'll probably get a ducat here, I guess. Get a little extra plus buy. What are the other options, by the way? River. Okay, river will work when the wisps run out. We could get another mask. I do want to play with 2 masks, so I think that's probably worthwhile, because we'll get another village coming up here. Man, where are my freaking villages? I have a freaking wisp. My draws have been atrocious. My opponent's draws have been very good. And that's how we're going to lose this first game. I don't know why that took so long. We can probably resign if we don't see a village. Yeah, this is like the absolute worst draw. I guess I'll just horse this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That was stupid. So we got Deliver and Squirrel. Squirrel is gonna be countered by Catapult. Ooh, if we had 4 coins here, we could deliver a Catapult, which would be pretty cool. We can deliver a Squire here, and then deliver a Catapult, but that's not very exciting. So I think we probably just want to Catapult. What is kind of exciting? I mean, our opponent can counter it pretty well, though. There's not much in the way of plus action. I mean, there's Squire. Mostly, I think we want to play with Menagerie draw. I think it's good to open Catapult Sanctuary, but there's definitely some merit to our, like, deliver Squire, deliver Catapult line. And you play the Squire as way of the Squirrel. The only problem is if our opponent counters with deliver Catapult, it's gonna mess us up pretty good. Oh, it also doesn't work. We have to play the Squire for coins and stuff. So if we deliver a Squire, yeah, we have 5 coins if we play the Squire, but we can also gain like a silver, which is pretty interesting. And we can open Sanctuary if our opponent does counter by delivering the Catapult. I think it's a more interesting open. But I don't know if it's better. I'm probably going to want that Squire. Oh boy, I'm really torn on this. Really torn on this. Let's give it a go. See what our opponent does. I hope they don't have 4 or 5 coppers in hand. Deliver Catapult is just such a good line with that open. So my options are, I have at least three good options. We play Squire. Whenever we play Squire, we gain silver. I think it's just a good card to have in the deck, one copy of. So you play Squire, deliver Catapult. Another option, play Squire, buy Sanctuary. And another option is Squirrel the Squire, buy Catapult. I think that's my least favorite, squirreling the Squire. But it's still not bad. Dang it. Oh, okay, interesting. So they didn't get a catapult. Cool. So I think we want to get a catapult then. Deliver it to threaten their next turn, because they have basically the same options that I do. Not ideal. This is very much not ideal. Suppose I could trash the estate. Not ideal. Just buys a displace. Huh. This sure is unexpected. Huh. I think no matter what we do, we're doing that. I think I like Quarry. That'll get us a Sanctuary eventually. You know, this is unlucky. Might be playing right into my opponent's delivered Catapult. Not sure. Storyteller is interesting in this deck. It can get like multiple coppers out of the hand for Menagerie. Displace definitely makes some sense at some point. Are they going to deliver a Catapult? They could also get a Storyteller. That'd be somewhat reasonable. It's just you want to play with Catapult eventually. There's no denying that. I'm pretty sure I'm squirreling the Squire regardless of what my opponent does. I'll just be sad if they deliver the Catapult. But I'll have plenty of cards to discard. Got estates down there and such. Ooh, weird. I really expected to be attacked. Maybe Personman expected to be attacked. Should I get another Sanctuary? Or should I play with a Displace? Displace is pretty interesting. Alright, that was not delivered. I think regardless. That was our only menagerie. I think it makes sense to do this. I might want to play... And we could also deliver like a menagerie here or something. But yeah, there's a question of like whether I want to be playing with 2 sanctuaries. I feel like I don't need Storyteller. It is kind of nice with Displace though. Should we play with Displace? Eventually that's good. Is it good now? Unclear. I think I'll add the Displace. Not super confident about it though. We're probably going to get attacked coming up here. But it might still make sense to play the Squire as a Squirrel, because I don't think we get anything much. Interesting. Okay, so we want to displace, presumably. Not sure if we want to or need to deliver. I could deliver a Menagerie and a Squire. We're probably playing right into our opponent's Catapult. But it's kind of nice to have a Menagerie if that is the case. Yeah. Let's try it out. Displacing silver is pretty good. Oh, wow, we didn't. Okay, they must have had terminal collision then, or something. They have a catapult. So we're probably going to want a catapult in a state. Not ideal, but I want this menagerie to draw. Besides which, our opponent has a bunch of menageries, so it's not like the attack is going to be super great. It's a pretty awkward payload. We should consider castles. Hmm. Where do we go from here? We have copper down there, which is not great. A bunch of menageries. Which don't do a whole lot right now. Okay, we have Sanctuary, Displace, Squire, at least 2 menageries. I actually think we should draw on. It's a pretty good chance we get something good. We did not get something good. I could buy a province. I know I'm going to kick off next turn. Province is a pretty good displaced target. Can Sanctuary it. Okay, well, our opponent gets a good turn. So we had 2 coppers down there. A little bit annoying if our opponent takes 2 menageries. That was just pretty unlucky. So many good cards at the bottom of our shuffle. Really needed to cycle back around to some plus buy. I mean, Displace would have done the trick too. I guess there was like a 3 out of 5 chance that I drew into plus buy when I played that menagerie last turn. I think it was worth it. It's not like squirreling would have done much. Our opponent might be thinking about Cardinal. I try not to think about Cardinal. Cardinal hitting Menagerie is very painful. There's like no other draw in this kingdom. Okay. Well, well, well. We did not get to our province. And we saw both our sanctuary and our display, so that's a little bit awkward. In fact, all of our trashing cards, so... if we don't get attacked next turn, that could be a dud turn. So I think we just don't have... We have, like, at least 2 coppers down there. Don't know if we'll be able to kick off. Anyway... I'm happy to take the last 2 menageries. I wouldn't even mind picking up a cardinal. But it might be better to get another squire. It doesn't help save my turn, though. Hmm. 4 coppers exiled. 4 in the trash. There's 6 out there. I have at least 2, probably 3 down there. I think I need to deliver myself a catapult. I think it's the best way for me to save my turn. Maybe not necessary. No, I think I just got lucky. Yeah. I think the bottom 2 cards are copper. What the heck? They just played 3 menageries in a row? All of them drawing? That's messed up. I don't know how I feel about Crumbling Castle. I don't love it. Now this is just problematic. If I have 2 coppers down there, which I think I do. I think I'm just screwed. Maybe I should have kept the catapult. I don't know. I'm trying to maximize my chance of having a good turn. Oh, I have a squire down there. I think we're okay. Maybe? No, no, no. I discarded a squire. I have 2 copper down there. Unless I have a silver down there. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. This is incredible. I can keep going. Wow. Okay. I think we want to displace into gold here. I do have another squire. Alright, so what's our game plan now? Is 2 buys sufficient? We can, like, use Way of the Squirrel on this catapult. Our other option is to play the squire for plus buys along with the sanctuary. Then we're going to have a lot of buys. Is that better? I don't know. I don't know. So how much? We're going to have 10 coins. 11 coins. So that's enough for province. What? Province sanctuary, province displace. I think it's better to get the plus buy. Then we can just get some squires. Alright. I think we're going to do that. Now the question is, so we're skipping Squirrel. The question is, should we exile this Catapult? I'm thinking yes. Just because we're probably going to want to displace our province. It's not accomplishing much anymore. Alright, it's gone. As for the squire, it is of course plus buy. Now we can deliver. But if we deliver, we're not going to be able to buy anything more expensive than squire with our province. So I think we probably want to just buy province baker. I don't know if we want 2 squires or not. Might be overly greedy. Deliver just does make it more likely for us to kick off, I think. But only slightly. Our opponent's probably going to try to attack us. Just a little bit low on money. Now, we don't have to get a province, right? What are the options if we don't get province? We could go in for some castles. I don't mind Humble Castle. We can get like Humble Castle, Baker, Displace Squire, or maybe even not sure. Province is probably best though. Let's just do that. And now the question is whether I get an extra squire or if I should get an extra copper or neither. I am unsure. I think I'm happy with just one squire. Okay, it's a good starting hand. Maybe I should have got another squire. Like, the silver gain mode is pretty good. Could have also gotten a sanctuary. I suppose I can displace into sanctuary if I want the extra plus buy that way. Our opponent's got 2 copper, I think. Just hasn't been a problem. Our opponent's got a good turn here. They have fewer squires than we do, though, so that's an upside. I feel like we're just gonna dud at some point. Like, these menagerie focused decks will at some point dud. Wonder if it'll be safe to lower to 3 provinces. It might not be. Be something to consider. I think if I do end up trashing my catapult, I can recoup the silver with Crumbling Castle. That could be a play. Maybe leaving 3 provinces is going to be safe. If our opponent picks up like another displace and a squire, but they can't do that. They just don't have the buys. Yeah, I think it will be safe for us to leave 3 provinces. And then we'll just want to like maximize our chance of kicking off next turn. We can potentially pick up a displace to threaten triple province. Not that it'll be easy, but it might just be possible. I'm glad nobody... Well, I'm glad my opponent didn't try to go for, like, the Cardinal Castles long game. There's definitely a risk there, or, like, a potential threat there. We should also be looking at 3 piles, because we have the Squire lead. If we lower that even further, I'm just not sure what the 3rd pile would be. It's a little tricky. So our opponent didn't attack us, which is, I think, good. Doesn't our opponent have 2 copper? How am I missing this? 3 exiled, 2 exiled. So that brings it to 51. Plus 6 in the trash. That brings it to 57. I only have 1 copper. Whoa, our opponent didn't even use Squire for, yeah, they have 2 copper, so they might dud. I think they're really trying to threaten triple province, but they would need, like, godly draws for that. I don't think I believe. Okay. We're going to use 2 of these for actions. That much is clear. So we might as well do that. All right. I think it makes sense to keep the quarry. We don't really have a whole lot of action space, so... We definitely want to attack. What is that final card? That final card is a Sanctuary. Okay. So I think this Menagerie can be squirreled. Okay. I don't think the curse accomplishes a whole lot. So it should probably be... Well, we could get rid of the quarry. That's a pretty crazy idea, huh? We're going to buy a province, and then what else are we going to buy? Doesn't super matter what else. We'll probably deliver whatever we get. So we could deliver another squire or 2. So if we catapult the quarry, I guess we could also get like Humble Castle or something. We'll have 13 coins to do all that. No, it's probably better to trash copper, because then we can deliver province, squire, humble castle. And a copper if I want. Sure. Let's do that. Oh, I was gonna get a displace. Yeah, that's fine. And we can get another squire, or we can get a copper. I'm not afraid of my opponent emptying on piles, right? I just don't even see how that's possible. So since I'm delivering here, should we get another squire? It can always be played for plus actions, it's just it might interfere with my draw. I'm thinking about getting nothing here. I am thinking about it. Maybe a state. No, I don't want to spend that coffer. It's hard to say. It's going in my hand. It won't interfere with my draw this turn, so we might as well. We kind of force our opponent to attack us if they're not winning. Ooh, Menagerie revealed 2 coppers. Twice, so it's bad for our opponent. They didn't find their squire, or they didn't find their catapult, or they played Sanctuary to start their turn, so that was not able to get rid of their copper. A lot of things going on there. Oof, this game is lasting a long time, and that's on me as much as Personman. I've been taking a long time thinking. Hopefully the next few games aren't nearly as tricky. Personman's been hoarding those Baker tokens. It's a little concerning. If I have to discard down to 3, it's going to be a little sad. More than a little. It's pretty bad to have the Sanctuary and 2 displaces, actually, in the starting hand. Pretty bad. Yeah, our opponent, if our opponent doesn't attack us, we just cruise to victory. So they kind of have to. Well, I guess we don't cruise to victory if they don't take province, because we don't have a gold in hand, so we can't displace. So our menageries can't activate. It's kind of tricky. I guess I can go displace, Quarry into displace, and that should work if our opponent doesn't attack. Yeah. Yeah. It was necessary. And now we have a whole bunch of squires we don't want. Opponent's hoarding those coffers. So we're not out of the woods yet. Wonder if we can get enough plus buy to empty squire and catapults. It would take playing 4 squires as plus buy. It's probably beyond me. Definitely playing at least two of these that way. Alright, now we're in the unfortunate situation. Hmm. Do we need a catapult? A gold. It's probably for the best. To continue our turn. We have a lot of squires. So here, I think we need actions. This one should probably be buys. Okay. So we can get two provinces. That's probably our winning line. Makes me a little bit nervous. But I do think it's our winning line. So let's go for it. Should probably deliver. Although if we deliver this province, we have the sanctuary in that hand. It should be fine. Um, will our opponent... We have another displace down there. Let's just go ahead, deliver province squire. And hopefully that'll be enough. We're up by 14 VP, so our opponent would need province triple duchy or something like that to win. Seems unlikely, but maybe it'll happen. The displace is not as good as it usually is, because we don't have any golds anymore. So if our opponent catapults, attacks us again, I think we hold on to the two squires. Maybe we never win. There's a risk that we never win. Maybe this game goes on forever. Okay. So we can catapult the quarry. That seems pretty good. Um, we can't win, can we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we can win. Excellent. I like winning more than anything else. We got our golds back. Or our 1 gold back. That was exhausting. On to game 3. Okay. So what's cheap? Cheap pickaxe. That's pretty relevant. Hmm. So we probably want to open pickaxe, I guess. I'm not 100% on that. Might be correct to open Salvager, Church Salvager. Ultimately, the draw here is going to come from the townsfolk, or it's going to be Hunter. Crypt could play a role. Pickaxe is payload for sure. I'm going to go with Salvager. It gets more money up front, and then we just pickaxe it later. It's usually good to get 2 churches, and I think I'm on board with that. The town crier doesn't super excite me, but maybe it's good to get one. Oh, Herald's also draw. Hmm. Herald's pretty good draw, especially with Church. Not good with, treasure payload, but we can do some displacey things as well. It's good to set aside more, though, is my thinking. Hmm. How important is the town, like, control over the town crier pile gonna be? We have plus buy in our deck. That's interesting, and our opponent doesn't. How important is this town crier gonna be? You know what? I think I want to set aside. Forget the church symmetry. We'll go without. I guess I can get a hunter. It's fine. I'm not sure Displace is better than Salvager. Kind of like the plus pi from Salvager. You know, you can argue that I shouldn't have gotten that pickaxe when I hit 4 on turn 3. I should have gotten a Spice Merchant. Because it's sure not doing much for me next turn. So let's go ahead. Get the hunter. I wonder if I should get a Herald here. My deck isn't very well realized. And by that I mean I don't know what I'm doing. I have like a vague notion that I want to have a deck with some draw and some loot. That's pretty much as far as it goes for me. Oh, Town Crier can gain silver. I probably should have done that. That's a good synergy. Let's go Herald. I don't really care about Town Crier, do I? Not really. Okay, next turn we'll see our estate. In the meanwhile, I guess we'll just get another Town Crier. It's not exciting by any means. My opponent's in a much better shape because they've been gaining silvers. I can't really do that this turn, though. Let's swap. Okay, fine. Now we can gain silver. Do I want to rotate? Not really. What am I going to buy? I'm going to have 5. I don't know. Or 6, up to 6. With 6, I could get like 2 blacksmiths or something, but doesn't seem very good. I think I'd rather have another Herald, I think. probably more trashed than my opponent. What did I play last turn? 2 copper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm more trashed. The Heralds are kind of awkward with the Hunters. Well, maybe I should just say that Hunters are awkward. So down there I have 2 Town Criers and a Hunter. And then 2 copper and a silver, I think. And that's my deck. Let's see what we can do. What loot did my opponent gain? Puzzle box. That's cool. Amphora, whatever. Odds are at least one of these Heralds should hit. Don't think I want to rotate that. So now we could draw up that silver. Or we could just gain another silver. Unclear. Which is better? I have 2 Town Criers, so my ability to like gain and play silver is pretty high. So let's try to make this turn better. And we're going to pickaxe this Salvager. I don't necessarily know how much money I'm going to have left afterwards. Let's just set aside 1 card. Okay. That's fine. I don't know, man. Maybe I should get another pickaxe. I do not know. Now down there we have 3 Heralds and 2 Town Criers. And a pickaxe, so... yeah, I'm about to go off. I probably shouldn't have top decked the blacksmith. But whatever. Yeah, I probably should have bought Pickaxe Herald there. That was a mistake. This blacksmith's not doing much. Top decking the pickaxe probably would have been correct too. Darn. No, I have a copper down there. Yeah, 2 Heralds, 2 Town Criers, copper pickaxe, so. Yeah, my opponent's in pretty good shape. Oh, there's that too. Um, Hunter will pick up a Herald. The Herald doesn't really accomplish anything, unfortunately, but oh well. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. It might be the worst thing. Let me think about this. I guess we can effectively turn that silver into another pickaxe, which is fine, I guess. Definitely not ideal. Opponent's got 3 coppers in their deck. Okay. They're revealing a lot of treasures. So we split the blacksmiths and we split the heralds, I think. We should probably get a crypt. Hmm. It'd be cool if we had a displace. Then we could mid-turn displace into crypt. Now we've got an advantage from having more townsfolk, which means more silver gainers, but our opponent got like off to a faster start with both silver gaining and with turning that into loot. So we need to catch up. In terms of piles, nothing looks like it's going to be a threat, so I think this is going to be a province pile kind of game. Coven was definitely like an option, a thing that could have happened. Way the horse hasn't come into play yet, but it certainly can be a big like last turn, can be a last turn kind of thing. Nobody wants a miller. Our opponents, yeah, not drawing deck. Getting kind of unlucky with their herald pulls, I think. Sword is unpleasant, to be sure. Do we want to discard... Let's go ahead and discard the blacksmith. I think we'll come around to that. They got all of their loot, though. Oh, no. Cheats. Cheats. Do they start on province? Seems reasonable. But maybe they want a herald. They don't even want a herald. Wow. Hmm. Interesting. I suppose I could pickaxe the church if I don't play it with the herald. I'm like, I could go either way on keeping the church in the deck. Okay. I don't know. I don't particularly care about Elder, but our opponent didn't buy province. Hmm. So I do have the silvers to trash this turn. And if I can get to Province Herald, I'm going to be pretty content with that, I think. That seems likely. Even if we draw one of our whatchamacallums. Words are failing me. Chalices. Even if one of the things we get is chalice, we'll be able to afford Province Herald. So we can play the church here and play this for silver. I think that all works out. And it's like, it's good for reliability, I think. I don't want Elder, and I don't think I want my opponent to have Elder. Not trivially at any rate. Figurehead, that's pretty good. Prize goat's good. Okay. This looks pretty good. On a future turn, we can get rid of the church. Maybe the following turn, turn 13. Unless we draw it, then, we have to play it. Although we could horse it. We got options. Our opponent already played their blacksmith, so they only have one target for this town crier. Oh, they started with Elder Blacksmith, which is, of course, very good. Oh, right. I thought about playing with Crypt at one point. Yeah, there's definitely a thing you could do here with Crypt. probably go a little heavier on displace so you can do gain and play a little more. I'm not sure. J-Nails would do it. It doesn't mean it's right, but it does seem like something I'd be curious to see piloted. Our opponent's gotten both orbs. Staff would be nice to have. I guess it wouldn't be that nice. Ooh, displace. Yuck. I guess we just do that for coins. Unless we really want to set up next turn, but... Well, we don't want to lower provinces, I don't think, to... Well, can we lower them to 3? They have the displace, which makes that a little bit dangerous. And they have duration. I might not be able to. I may have to... Yeah. Okay. I'll leave some more. Nice. Alright, so we have a points lead. I don't think our opponent can end the game this turn. If they get 3 provinces, we probably can still win. If they get 1 province, we should be able to win. It's not a guarantee, but it is likely. And if they get 0 provinces, we can also probably win. So I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Obviously, if they get 2 provinces, that's the easiest way for us to win. It's not a guarantee, but with Way of the Horse, it's pretty darn likely. Is in their hand. Can they play anything to Elder? I'm starting to doubt my ability to draw. Although, if I horse literally everything and just play a displace, that should do the trick. But that's only, I only do that if, consider that if Personman takes one province. Oh. Ooh, this is a full draw. I did not expect that at all. How did my opponent accomplish such a feat? Guess their heralds hit, huh? Not even. Their last two heralds didn't hit. Their first two heralds did. Oh, they did some way of the horse stuff. Oh, they have a hunter that drew 3. But they're out, I think. Of draw. I think I have the 3 town criers. Why do I see Spice Merchant? Why is it showing Spice Merchant at the bottom here? It's very strange. So what's their play? They have a displace, presumably in hand. Wait, do they have another blacksmith? They do. They just drew it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take a break. And I'm back. Oh, I have to discard something. Oh, you can't do that. That's illegal. Alright. I did not see the line to pickaxe a province. I would personally never treat my provinces so disrespectfully. But I guess some people don't have the same respect for green as I do. All right, we got a 2-5. That sure doesn't look like it helps. Unless it does. So we probably start with Courtyard, and then we can potentially get a big farrier overpay if that's any good. Could also stonemason for something, but nah. And we could just go Courtyard River Shrine. That's also certainly an option. So what does the Farrier overpay look like? We get 3 extra cards in our next hand. So we have an 8-card hand. That seems pretty good. Now, Stonemason's also pretty good with Peril in the Kingdom. So we shouldn't, like, discount that so soon. So quickly, you know? Ultimately, the draw is just Farrier, though, right? Like, there's no plus actions. So that's awkward. So Artisan's probably not good with no plus action. River Shrine, definitely good. So do we get the River Shrine here? That's Kind Emperor. Action card. So our opponent's going to open Gear River Shrine. Almost certainly. Do we get an advantage to opening Courtyard Farrier overpay? We can potentially... We ultimately need the River Shrine, I think. If we see the Farrier, that's pretty good. Maybe we can buy River Shrine and something else. But is that better than just putting the River Shrine into our deck right now? And how does River Shrine and Peril? Didn't buy any cards. If you didn't gain any cards in your buy phase, okay, so Peril will disqualify the River Shrine gaining. So I can definitely hit 7. You know, when we can just buy Farrier again. That's the thing about Farrier. Is it's good. So let's just do it. Alright, so we're looking for either Copper or Courtyard here. Either one is fine. Courtyard's best. Although we don't get to buy Peril and River Shrine, so maybe it doesn't matter much. Anything but Estate is how I'm feeling. This is a pretty weak Kind Emperor when all is said and done. You can buy Artisan, which can be a target for farmland or stonemason. That's pretty much it. You can buy a shop in very, very limited quantities. Yeah, what a weak Kind Emperor. Okay. So let's go ahead and get our River Shrine, and we can also get another Courtyard, which we'll plan to Peril. Hopefully this turn. Oh, I could have done the stonemason thing. I would like to trash estates. Yeah, I already messed up. Whatever. Hammer's pretty good. I think it's better to trash a copper than to peril this courtyard. Do I believe that? Yeah, I believe it. Because we can get a gear or a shop. I think gear is the terminal we want to play. And it does not play nicely with shop. So, there is that. Now this isn't plus buy, which is annoying. But that's okay, we can get another farrier. Like our opponent's doing. Yeah. This looks like a big farrier overpay to me. Does it make sense to set aside that copper? I don't think so. Ultimately, we're going to want a deck that's nice and... like, it's just going to be a gear loot deck is, I think, the goal. We're just trying to get there as quickly as possible. Alright, so our opponent only got to play one farrier. That's good for us. So they get one peril, and then they farrier overpay, I guess. But they don't have a loot yet, I don't think. So maybe they double peril. I may have lost with that staff. Unclear. Okay, what should we get here? Probably silver. This is not ideal. It's pretty unlucky, in fact, to have our farriers bottom deck like this. Hmm. Interesting. We could trash with River Shrine. And just buy a farrier. It's probably the right thing to do. What is going on here? Oh, Kind Emperor. Oh, what the? Screw it. Forgot about Kind Emperor. I think I probably want to puzzle box a farrier. Probably. Game is complicated sometimes. Staff is so good in this kingdom. It's outrageously good. I know I got Hammer early, and that's pretty good, but it's actually not great in this kingdom. It's not great. Not bad, but not great. Yeah, I think I'm losing this game. Kind of annoying. It doesn't matter whether we top deck or like... Oh. I didn't think that through. I think we just buy a farrier here. Probably. Hmm. We need to make sure we have the money to do a good farmland here. I think we're going to lose this game. Definitely could have piloted it better. We ended up with just too many actions. We need to find more opportunities to Peril. I don't think I'm going to have those opportunities, even this turn. Yeah. It's a bit like... Yeah, I don't know. My instinct is to blame my draws, but obviously that's the easy way out. I needed to just think a little bit more carefully about what my deck construction was and use that to inform the decisions I made. Even if I don't have good, like, ideal draws, I should have been able to stay more on top of these actions. What the heck? That's incredible. A stonemason is absurd. It's a pretty bonkers stonemason. Oh my god. I didn't even contemplate how good that could be. Wowza. Yeah, we just dud it out here. We just completely dud it out here. I don't know. We're just completely screwed. It was pretty clear from the get-go. Yeah. It didn't work. It didn't work. I don't really even have 3 costs. Well, I guess I have some silvers. I was gonna say I'm not in a good position to get a bunch of duchies either. Hold on. What do I get from double province, double farmland? Not quite enough. Hmm. And my opponent 100% wins if they can get province, right? So we should definitely do that. Um, oh, I don't. That was ridiculous. Stonemason trash loot to get 2 farmlands. That's bonkers. Bonkers! That didn't used to work, right? Farmland used to be on buy. Yeah. I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old. I do not know the timing of Stonemason Destrier. I think you overpay before you gain anything, but again, overpay changed. Everything changes. I'm a bitter old man. I can't keep up with this. I don't like the opening options at all. So the only way to trash is Stonemason, huh? That's pretty messed up. Is Trail any good? Not really. Not really. Great. I could probably resign this game right now. I suppose next turn I could buy a curse. This kind of stuff bothers me. Like, I'm already down, you know? The game's gonna kick me while I'm down. Look at this. Look at this crap. Look at this. I do not know why my opponent is thinking. I guess, oh, they can Stonemason for 2 Destriers, I think. That's pretty good. I think that works. It does not, in fact, work. Why does it cost 4? Can anybody explain that? No? Nobody? My opponent's gonna buy a curse next turn. I'm calling it. And they trigger a freaking shuffle. I'm done with this game. I'm done with this game. Okay, we got we got a lot here. Ooh, rapid expansion with cavalry is weird. Very weird. Um, so this is not ideal because ideally we would open Sailor Mountain Shrine, but we can't do that. Ideally we would open Sailor Mountain Shrine. But we can't do that. So should we open Silver Mountain Shrine or should we open Double Mountain Shrine? The problem with Double Mountain Shrine is we literally don't want anything that costs less than 4. Okay, so what should we get here? Probably Den, but I'm pondering. I think Den's pretty good here in general. And in particular, that's going to give me 5 coins next turn, which can be another Den, or it could be a buried treasure if I want that instead. I don't know. I think I'm happy to just keep buying dens for now. I guess buried treasure is pretty good though. Keep incentivizes it even a little bit more. What happened to our opponent there? Nothing. Interesting. So on this turn, buried treasure is definitely like more money in the short term. There's no denying that. And we can potentially buy a denizen like next turn. What's our goal here? Like, what are we working towards? The plus action is just conclave, which is a little bit awkward. So we don't want to put too many. Well, never mind. We have rapid expansion cavalry, so we have everything we need. Buried treasure, we can like buy cavalry. I think it's treasure time. In fact, I am tempted to get a cavalry right here. The only thing that's holding me back is that I might not draw 2 coins, but it's pretty darn likely. We are kind of ahead, so should we just like... We could just guarantee a good next turn by getting buried treasure. Certainly, buried treasure, we want to get it before rapid expansion takes off, because that just makes it strictly worse. Yeah, cavalry's just a little bit risky for my taste. So what happened with our opponent? It looks like their mountain shrine missed the shuffle. So they're finally having bad draws. Although 2 estates there kind of made up for it. We're getting pretty close to rapid expansion. I don't want to trigger a shuffle here, I don't think. So I think I'm just going to go Buried Treasure, Den of Sin. Seems good to me. Now, there is a risk, once again. No, there is no risk now. That's our only estate. So let's go ahead and get Cavalry going here. Alright. And... oh, do we want another Cavalry? We can always toil it. Conclave's pretty bad with rapid expansion. Hmm. Hmm. I didn't think this through very well. Maybe I should get Sailor? A little faster trashing. Yeah, get behind that. Not ideal. I was hoping to see my mountain shrine there, but... so what is Cavalry when you play it with rapid expansion? It's like crazy good. It's like a... I don't even have the words. It's just really, really good. You end up starting your next turn with 4 more cards in hand and 2 more actions. Really, really good. So I think winning the Cavalry split puts you in a good spot. We do want more buried treasure, that's for sure. Okay, so here we go. Oh, actually, I think I can do better here. I need to think about this. So if I go... yeah, I have the plus buy. But I want the cavalry to be rapidly expanded. Yeah, we probably just skip, I guess, Den of Sin, maybe. Hmm. Maybe we'll draw the den anyway with these cavalries. All right, there we go. I think we win. Our opponent got an artist, which is wacky. Guess they didn't see the rapid expansion synergy. Okay, and pretty sure. Yeah, we've got a mountain shrine down there. That much is clear. Okay, so we can do like we can give it. Oh, it doesn't matter what we buy because it's all going to be set aside. Okay. So I think we need to buy a buried treasure, which will be set aside, and I'll get to play it next turn. A little bit awkward, but so it goes. I have 8 horses set aside. That does seem like it's probably enough. And I get those cavalries back. So I can keep the good times rolling. So I think I just want more buried treasure. It's definitely awkward. Oh, okay, we can work around it. That's good to know. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I've got the draw I need. Might as well do that. Put it in immediate mode. Get all the rest of the buried treasures next time. This sailor, it turns out, was not necessary. So in terms of plus buy, it's pretty much just buried treasure. So hopefully our opponent doesn't get any more. Yeah, I guess the crazy thing is like the cavalries don't even stay in play, so it is kind of like a just a super duper souped up way of the squirrel. This is a squirrel cavalry. So we get all the buried treasures. That's important, and then we get a bunch of golds, I guess. Buy some provinces. Buried treasures and cavalry will be empty, but our opponent won't have much plus buy to threaten any other pile. So, you know, it'll be fine. Maybe I shouldn't have trashed that copper. Conclave, that doesn't seem good. Okay. So I don't even think we want to trash anything here. Doesn't take many cavalries to just fully draw deck. So us having the buried treasure split is pretty big. And they just have two, I think, buried treasures. That's not gonna serve you well, I don't think. Certainly at some point we're gonna want to trash, but don't think we need to worry about that yet. Maybe not ever. Alright, we only managed to win 2 games, so we need to really make up some ground in our last 3 matches of the season. Well, until the next one.